Alright. Well, we're leaving to take you to work in like 15 minutes, so I'm going to do this very quickly. I was kind of surprised. This has actually been getting a lot of acclaim.
I've heard that. It's got like a cinema score of like an A- right now, I think.
I'm just going to go ahead and say right off, I don't think this is better than the first one.
No.
I think I like the first one better.
Yes.
But this one is not bad.
No.
This one is okay. That's those people that crave short reviews. That's all they needed to hear.
Bye.
Basically, we get this narration. I know you gotta set up a story, but I always hate this fucking movies set in this kind of era, or I don't know, like these. I think you know what I'm talking about. There's movies that have to start off with like this big long narration that tells you this story from long ago about why the shit in the movie is happening.
The Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah. And, you have to see a battle happen, and there's a reason this battle's happening. Whatever this battle's going on for is going to be researched for the movie.
Of course.
There's going to be another battle just like this at the end. Actually, there wasn't really, but...
no.
Regardless, so anyway, Christopher Eccleston, it was actually going to be Mads Mikkelsen for a long time, but then he had to drop out for Hannibal, I think. But Christopher Eccleston's just fine. He's hidden under makeup anyway.
Yeah.
And he is... They're like elves, I think they are.
Mm-hmm. That's what they look like.
They're something elves. I can't remember what the word was now. But, and they were doing battle with Odin's dad. And then there was something called Ether. That's either starting with an A, by the way. I wouldn't know that for the subtitles.
Yep.
And they have this, basically this Ether is basically like,
it's like the Tesseract.
Yeah. And it's like, so they like hide it away and they say, I'm going to go to sleep, and if this is found, then I'm coming back. And I'm going to raise hell. So, we jump ahead, obviously, and fucking Jane Foster, who I was kind of hoping would be written out of this one, finds it, and Kat Dennings, who is,
Darcy.
She is back, I'm sorry to tell you. You remember how annoying she was in the first one? Well, she's about twice as annoying here. I think Kat Dennings is fine.
Yes.
I like her movies like Nick and Nora and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the Darcy character, if I see more than 5 seconds of the Darcy character, I've had enough. I want the scene to end soon. And then they bring this other character in that's some intern. His name's Ian, but she keeps calling him the intern. And that's for a pointless love story that's for no reason.
It does not happen until the end of the movie.
I sound like I hate this movie, but I really don't. It's really fine. It's just not,
It's not what everybody's putting it over to be.
Yeah. And of course, funny because Anthony Hopkins is in this movie, Loki has to play Hannibal Lecter. He's inside the cell. They need his help. We've seen it all before. So, basically... Loki, after the Avengers, developed this massive, massive fan base, mostly of the female persuasion.
Yes.
It's a long time before he gets out of the cell. He's mostly just, and they're fucking around, doing the, Jack Torrance passing the ball around to himself in the Overlook, or
yeah.
Playing with, his... No? Sorry, ladies.
That's your fantasies, not ours.
Playing with his powers.
Yes.
Just doing random shit. Just to kill the boredom and the cabin fever.
Like Peter Parker when he first realized he had Spider's powers.
And then finally, he's, they get to that big moment that we know is coming where they have to let him out after, I guess it's kind of a spoiler. Spoilers don't matter now. We're late to the party here.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Renee Russo is killed.
Yep.
Who is their mother, obviously. And Loki gets pissed. Thor gets pissed. Odin gets pissed. Everybody's pissed. Because Chris Eccleston's dudes killed Renee Russo.
Yeah.
And that's actually a really fantastic scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's, the 3D is pointless as usual.
Completely.
But the funeral scene looked really, really good.
Yes.
Agreed. And then there is, and then Christopher Eccleston and then wake up because Jane finds the Ether and it like goes into her body and into her veins, and that like makes her like it's basically living inside her.
It's killing her from the inside too.
So and then there's that problem.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
You were telling me on the way down that people were comparing this to a Star Trek movie, like a J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie.
Correct.
I got more of it. This isn't a criticism because I'm just gonna say it. I was thinking more along the lines of the Star Wars prequels.
I can see that.
Maybe that's just my subconscious because of Natalie Portman, but I happen to kind of like the Star Wars prequels, so fuck y'all.
Yeah, I do too.
But yeah, that's what it kind of looked like. It not in like, just in like aesthetically, it kind of gave that vibe.
I got a lightsaber vibe a couple times too.
They go the scene where it's Thor and Jane like on that balcony and they like do the kiss and all that shit. It was a very Anakin Padme scene.
Yeah, she's like, I've been here before.
No, Chris Hemsworth is an infinitely better actor than Chris Hemsworth for sure.
No.
But they have there's a lot of comedy, obviously.
Yeah.
That's what Marvel does, and it's fine. Like there's the Chris O'Dowd has a couple of scenes, and you know how much I fucking love Chris O'Dowd.
Looking like Ted DiBiase in this movie.
There is a funny, as much as I fucking hate Darcy, there is a funny line where she says, "Oh no, it's a Jane line." Okay. They're in London, I think.
Yes.
And they're kind of just walking through, and they're looking for somebody, and they hear something. It's just kids, but they hear something, and Darcy says, "It's okay, we're Americans," and Jane says, "Is that supposed to make them like us?" You got Stellan Skarsgård just streaking in Stonehenge. We see that a couple of times. I'm sorry. There's I do love it was obviously in the trailer. It finished off the trailers, but I still fucking love the scene where at the beginning battle, and that giant rock monster comes out.
Yeah.
And Thor just kills it in one hit of the hammer.
It felt very Percy Jackson.
Anybody else? This is miles above Percy Jackson.
Well, the fight is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But then there's annoying shit. Like there's also a like I said, it's kind of a spoiler for our great moment. Like I said, we're late to the party, so everybody probably already knows this. The Chris Evans cameo.
Yeah, it is. You see a lot of Chris Evans in this movie because you have the stinger before the movie starts.
Yeah, that obviously I'm not watching trailers this year. If you're asking how, I shut my eyes. That's it. That's my big secret. Maybe it's just because I was waiting for it to end. I was waiting to hear it.
It was long.
Yeah, I was sitting there going, are they did I fall asleep and wake up in 2014 and I'm sitting in the Winter Soldier right now?
Yeah, they gave away a lot.
Oh, good. That's why I do that now.
Exactly.
But there's I know she's important and everything, but I really don't like the Jane scenes, especially the Jane and Darcy scenes.
So Jane's like your Rachel Dawes.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't hate Rachel Dawes like everybody else does, but I believe Jane does have a lot of haters. You can put me in there.
Okay.
There's they just do this dumb thing. It's not. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it's such a cliche dialogue where you have you don't want to say the character's name for some reason.
Mm.
There's 3 different scenes where they're referring to Thor and the fact that she misses Thor.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh man, I haven't seen that since. But then there's one that's even worse where she gets 2 of them out. It's that hasn't happened since.
Ouch.
Just say his fucking name.
He's not Voldemort.
And then she says it crazy when he finally appears. She's just like, oh, Thor, and then oh, Thor, and then there's one time where she just hits the ground and just very lightly, just really quickly, she's like, Thor. Now she can't stop fucking saying it. I want to talk about a couple of Loki things at the end. Obviously this is definitely spoil territory, so
yes.
If you really, really don't want spoilers, you can stop now. There's a couple of things. For starters, when they go back to Pride Rock, at least that's what the scene looked like.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
There's obviously Loki, turns on them because he's Loki.
Yeah.
And they do this whole big ruse for Christopher Eccleston, where it looks like he's going to turn him in, and he's going to go over there, and he's like, I just want a front row seat to watch Asgard burn. And then it turns out it's all he Anakins him, he cuts his hand off so he can't get the hammer back. And I was like starting to like, that was getting really insane. I was like, holy shit, this is going to a dark place, especially for Marvel. And I was like, this is kind of fucking awesome. It's like,
yeah,
Loki's back with a fucking vengeance.
Yep.
It's all a damn ruse, and Loki's helping them out, and he's using his powers again. And Thor didn't really lose his hand, of course. Now I was sitting there going, how the fuck's he gonna get it back? Is he gonna do the Anakin mechanical hand? I was like, this really is a Star Wars prequel. But it was Luke's hand, it was Anakin's arm, but it's the same thing. But fuck it. It's Marvel, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, okay, let me stop you right there. I'm not one of those people that says, oh fuck happiness, everything has to be dark and brooding. It's not like that. No. I really, really liked the direction it was going when Loki turned on them. It was very a fucking Loki thing to do.
It's not very often you actually see a dark, like, superhero movie anymore.
And then what I thought was an awesome ending was, obviously they picked Loki off, supposedly. He comes up behind the monster and stabs him with the spear. And then, of course, the monster's not dead, so he just turns to Loki and he pulls him into it and kills him.
Mm.
And then Loki, dies later, like doing that. Oh, brother. But what I thought was awesome about that was when he comes up and stabs the monster guy from behind, is exactly the way he killed Coulson.
Yeah.
So it was really poetic that he died because of that. Now, of course, okay, I'm not going to complain, though. The ending lets us know that there's going to be more Loki.
Yeah.
That's always good.
Yes.
I'm not going to complain. We need more Loki.
And Coulson's still alive. Don't forget that, so you're good.
They have not confirmed where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is in the timeline. Clark Gregg says he doesn't even know if Coulson is back from the dead or it's a prequel. Nobody knows.
At least somewhat.
And of course, we have your post-credit scene.
Yes.
One or two. One of them involves Benicio del Toro.
Which is amazing.
Which is a lead-in, obviously, to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Which is really awesome, because I think for the longest time, Benicio wasn't confirmed yet. I don't know if this was the official confirmation.
I'm sure it was.
Or what, but yeah. Benicio's definitely going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy.
He looks awesome, too.
And there's a second post-credit scene that most people are missing, because they do what they did in the Avengers with the Thanos ending.
Yep.
They see it and they're like, oh, okay, bye. And they leave. There's actually a second one. I don't really know what... for starters, Thor comes back and he and Jane kiss. Yay. But then we see one of the monsters, and it's like in... That was London, wasn't it?
I believe so.
And it's like scampering about. So it's probably going to cause havoc. So that's an interesting lead-in.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much it. Like, I like it just fine.
It's alright.
It's just not up there with...
Some people were calling it the best superhero movie of the year.
I like it better than the Wolverine, but I like Iron Man 3 more.
Yeah. Man of Steel?
Yeah. Man of Steel too. People get shit for like a Man of Steel nowadays.
Check those videos out on this channel.
No, I fucking suck at superhero movie reviews. You probably learned that by now.
Yeah. We only have a couple more. We have no more left of the year, so
it's worth noting this isn't Kenneth Branagh anymore. I don't know what happened there.
Sucks.
I guess there's not really much of a significant difference that you can tell.
Yeah.
We got Idris Elba coming back. Pretty much everybody comes back from the first movie. However small their part was, they're back here. Yeah, like I said, I don't dislike this movie at all.
No, I don't either.
I think it's very low on the Marvel, if you're ranking specifically the Avengers movies.
What's the lowest on there right now? If you had to put something to it.
Shit, it might be this one.
Yeah, maybe.
Of all the Avengers movies, maybe this is better than Iron Man 2.
Which sucks, because Iron Man 2 could have been so good. With Rockwell and Mickey Rourke, I mean, it could have been great.
Well, that's pretty much all I got.
Alright, so next week, Next week's a big question mark right now.
We'll get it sorted out.
Best Man Holiday is the only thing I can guarantee for next week. There's a lot of stuff that we possibly could get. We get About Time, we get stuff in Athens, and then there's stuff like The Book Thief, which is possible, and maybe even Nebraska, so we'll find out. So, parting words for the 4 people watching this video, apparently.